I can't hear anything.
Can you hear now, Mark?
There we go.
Okay. Thanks, Shelley. Okay, so next on the agenda is citizen comments. This is an opportunity for anybody from the public to comment to our city council. And as always, please state your name and your address for the record and limit your comments to 3 minutes, please. Hi, Bonnie.
Hi, my name is Bonnie Mager at 15220 West Dairy View Lane. I'm here representing Cheney Co-Housing. Thanks so much for the opportunity to speak tonight. I'm here mainly to ask a couple of questions. As you know, our organization is interested in creating a development. We've been working on this with the county and the city since 2019. Went through the city planning commission, also the city council, and was supported, went on to the county and was supported by the planning commission there, but was stalled when the county decided that it would be better done under the 10-year planning process. We are now at that point, and I'm here tonight just to ask where we are in the process. I'm having a little bit of difficulty figuring out how the process is going forward, where our part of that process. We have put in our own request, the request from the city to have the property included in the urban growth boundary is still active and at the county. And so I guess what I'm asking is, where are we in the process? Is there a map yet that includes the property and any other properties for the adjustment of the urban growth boundary?
Okay, well, we'll have to get you that information back to you.
Todd, we're having that meeting coming up?
Comprehensive.
We set a meeting Monday, August for planning. See what that update is.
Are we,
And will Nexus have the new map there, do you know?
Yeah, but it does not include urban growth areas because we've been working with Spokane County. They're all getting that.
Okay. And then I guess the other question that I have is that I know we lost our one and only planner. And so I'm wondering where the process is going in order to rehire a new planner. This is a particularly important year to have somebody on board. I listened to the Growth Management Steering Committee. There was nobody from Cheney there, but some kind of a statement was read saying that Cheney had basically all it needed in terms of its land quantity analysis within the existing territories. And as you all know, that is a problem. You have lots of land that's south of the railroad track. That has been a problem for a long time. There are rumors that the county is going to want to reduce our urban growth boundary along with that of Medical Lake and some other small cities because they have their own issues where they want to grow. I just want to make sure that we don't get lost in this whole process.
Okay, we'll definitely get back with you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Bonnie. Anybody else? Come on up. Again, state your name and your address for the record, please, and limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Kristen Coway. My address is 3109 Silverthorne Lane, and I'm here to share a request and a bit of a complaint. I'm a mom of 3 young kids. We're very excited to have the new pool. We are less excited about the financial barriers that accessing the pool has presented to us. So as a resident, I'm paying taxes on my home that go toward this pool. We have no resident rate, no family pass, and we charge 6-year-olds the same as everyone aged 6 to 59. Now, if you've seen a 6-year-old, which I do because I have one, he's 48 inches tall and he weighs 50 pounds. There is no reason that he should be charged the same as an adult man or an adult woman or even a teenager. Now, the reason that I got from Parks and Rec that he's charged the same as an adult is because that's what they do in Spokane. Now, I found that funny because Spokane public pools are free and have been since 2018. So they're not charging 6-year-olds the same as adults because they're not charging people at all. I think that it's irrational to charge a 6-year-old as an adult. If we want a different line, let's make it double digits. Let's make it 10. Let's make it when you hit middle school, you are charged as an adult. But I don't think it's fair or right or affordable for our families to be able to access the pool if we're saying that your little children, your elementary schoolers, my son's in the 1st grade, are also paying adult price, especially when we split the day into 2 sessions and we're charging $7 per session. That means that my family of 5 is going to the pool. We're paying for 3 adults and 1 preschooler, I guess. That's $21 for the 3 adults, $5 for my preschooler, $26 for the day. Double that? That's not affordable. 42% of Cheney students qualify for free and reduced meals, and we're charging them that much money to go to the pool that we're also paying taxes on. I would like this to be considered, addressed, and I want to know that in the future that we will have a family pass, we'll have resident rates again. Because I want to be able to use what I'm paying for, and I want my community to use it, and I want my friends with small children to be able to use it too. And we can't, because we can't all afford that. And that's not right. And that's not what we're here as a city to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristen. Kristen, would you be willing to write your name and your phone number down there, please? Or an email if you'd prefer that, just so that I can contact you. How about anybody else in the crowd? Anybody wish to provide comments to our city council? How about anybody joining us virtually? Going once, going twice. Thank you to all that shared your comments. And let's move on to our next item. You've all had an opportunity to review. I'm
Uh,
sorry.
Could,
Yes. Oh, yes.
I would I would like to add an agenda item, if I might.
Yes, please.
I would like to add an executive session at item O for the purpose of discussing employee issues,
Okay.
personnel matters.
Personnel
Thank you.
matters. Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
And no
I'll
action.
second that.
But that's usually announced. So I didn't do that.
Do you have a motion and a second to amend the agenda to include an executive session at item O? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Right.
Okay, thanks. We will do that. Okay, the July 8th, 2025 regular city council meeting minutes, you've had an opportunity to review those. And if there's no changes to those, accept the motion to approve those.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second to approve our minutes from our July 8th meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Sorry, Mayor.
Yes, go ahead, Mark.
I think there's just one change that needs to be made in the minutes.
Okay,
Just pull it up really quick. I think it's under one of our resolutions. Yeah, it's under number 8, ordinance Y90. It talks about us making a first and a second for the motion, and that it carried unanimous. It says that it carried unanimously, and then it's listed the yes votes and the no votes. It didn't carry unanimously. It voted, and there was 3 that voted yes, or 4 that voted yes, and 3 that voted no. So I think we just need to delete that part about it carrying unanimously.
okay.
Mayor.
So we do have,
So the motion was actually to take the vote and not the actual vote.
right.
So the motion did carry unanimously,
Is it
but the
restrict-
vote, yes. The motion was whether we want to vote on it now. And so that did carry, and then there were 3 people that voted no. And that's listed in the roll call vote.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, good. Okay, moving on, vouchers, Cindy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Total vouchers of $1,525,047.96.
Your Honor, the Finance Committee reviewed these items. I would move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the vouchers as presented. Any questions for Cindy? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Mark? And opposed, nay. Ayes have it. Small contracts, you can see the 2 small contracts that I signed. One's for the Eastern Washington University Choir, and then the Certified Security and Integration. We don't have any information items or appointments today, but we do have several action items. First one, Todd, is Resolution F-391. This is the on-call planning services contract.
Yeah, we finally got around to reviewing the statement of qualifications, and after review, there were 6 submittals. Staff is recommending that we contract with SCJ Alliance. They provided a powerhouse of just all inside consultations, and they have a good reference of all smaller cities to that end. So that is what we're recommending to go with. With that, I'll be happy to answer your question. This is basically an on-call planning. We won't use them all the time. We use it just to handle some of our long-range planning, maybe some of our more difficult applications, but we feel that we can kind of fill all the other little stuff with just office staff. So, yeah.
Okay, thanks, Todd. Any questions for Todd? Go ahead, Jake.
So am I understanding this correctly? This is to replace having a on staff or like staff planner. Do we know if this is going to save us money in the long run by doing this, or are we going to potentially face like the same financial like obligation that we would
Well,
just by hiring?
yeah, I
somebody
think it,
in-house?
we don't have a lot of, obviously we're working through our comprehensive plan, and Brett was here. But that was also under contract, to that end. So when we talk about, things that will come up that we may need, assistance with, is maybe some, final plats or short plats. Maybe some help with some planning commission, or maybe just some interpretations of the comp plan when we go through maybe a rezone. But that is just on a consultant basis. Staff will kind of fill the presentations and moving forward on that. So yeah, as of right now, the idea is to not replace Brett, and just see what we can do with internally and using a consultant.
Do we have an estimate of how much? I mean, do we have any idea if this is going to save us money?
I think it will. I mean, we don't have a lot of, right now, we haven't had a need for them. And I've been sitting down with some developers and talking about final plats and everything else, and I'm able to kind of work through those processes. Preliminary plats will be a little bit different because we go through more of a public process, but final plats is mostly with surveyors and engineers, getting the language right, reviewing the CCNRs and all that, and then recommending for signatures and bringing it to council. So we've been through that process.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie. Yes, go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, thanks. Todd, I was a little surprised in that I know we've had some hiccups with this firm in the past. So what criteria did we really use in order to select them as opposed to the other 5? Was there anything that stood out, or?
Yeah, what kind of really stood out is we had some firms that were subbing out, those services. And then SCJ Alliance, they have a lot of on-call services with Area Heights, Medical Aid. And so, yeah, the criteria was just going through what they submitted and seeing what they're experiencing.
So they do this more than the other firms? Is that what you're suggesting?
What we've seen on all the references, yeah.
And so it looks like that there's it's an open-ended contract, so 30 days for termination. So we're so it's an as need basis, so we're gonna get charged just for an hourly amount for X amount of.
Hourly amount, or if the project needs a review, then we'll probably ask for an estimated amount to stick with it.
So in terms of staff, we felt this would be our most cost-effective means as an interim. I think this is interim, but someday we'll have a position again. Yeah, I was just a little bit surprised, and I know they're on our land use analysis. We had some issues with that, and that's about all I have. And if you're the ones that have to work with them, I would assume across the board they're all similar in fees.
Yeah.
And then access. So, all right. Anything else, Mayor?
Thanks, Paul. Anything else? Mark?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I think I'm with Paul on this. I was under the impression the last time we used SCJ Alliance that we had some challenges I do remember we had some pretty interesting challenges in the presentation stage. The presentation was a little wonky and the city council didn't have the material he was looking at, and it was kind of a challenge. So I guess my question, Todd, is what gives you confidence that SCJ Alliance will do a good job moving forward if what our experience in the past has been is that they didn't do a very good job?
Well, I think on the LQA, I mean, they weren't, I believe we took the study it was fairly accurate. There was some data that was turned out before and then it didn't show up in the report, but we corrected that. Staff has taken a look at where those mistakes were. And it was all in kind of the zoning and kind of updating the zoning map and making sure that they were correctly interpreting all of the vacancies and everything else. So I believe that they did fulfill the land quantity analysis that is being used right now, and it's more corrected. But yeah, I agree. The presentation was kind of clunky or whatever you said, but the person that actually was presenting that wasn't really the person that should have been presenting that, because of absence of the person that should have been presenting that was gone. So it might have been scheduling and just kind of a mishap. But SCJ Alliance, as you recall, they came back and they did, well, actually, it's not SCJ Alliance. It was a different company that now became SCJ Alliance, or SCJ Alliance bought them. And that was Bill Grimes with SCJ Alliance did our last comprehensive plan. So their staff is very well versed within this planning side of it.
So is Mr. Grimes still with them?
I believe so.
Are you done, Mark? I had another question. If you're,
Yeah, I'm done, Paul. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Yep.
so I see
Correct.
this process started in March. Is there something pending right now of issue as a project for a new consultant? Or do we want to have another look at this just to,
Um,
are you comfortable if we went to the next meeting?
Yeah, we can come to the next meeting if we want to take it to the next meeting and to answer some of those questions. Yeah.
Maybe have the Public Works Committee take a look at.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna think as well. Just take another look. I mean, I don't have anything against them per se. I'm just not sure what else there was if there's hiccups. I just like to be comfortable. Again, may not be anything there, but if we got a little bit of time, I'd like to take a look at it a little bit further. So if that's not an issue, I would move for a deferment for the next meeting.
Okay, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, I do have a motion and a second to defer resolution F391 to our next council meeting and have Public Works Committee review. Yes. Any questions, comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you, Todd. We're going to defer resolution F391. Dave it's Cody. Welcome, Cody.
Thank you.
Resolution F392, Cheney Municipal Court Therapeutic Court Grant.
Now, Cody Mikas, representing the Municipal Court. Honorable Mayor, City Council, we're asking you to approve Resolution F392 to accept the Therapeutic Court Grant from the State Administrative Office of the Courts. They are funding us to the tune of $235,350.97 this year. So we appreciate the state's support, and we would request that be accepted.
Thank you, Cody. Any questions for Cody or Dave? No? Okay.
There are no questions. I would move for approval of resolution F392.
Second. Thank you. I have a motion and a second to approve resolution F392, the Municipal Court Therapeutic Court Grant. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you, Cody. Resolution F392 passes. Okay, Todd, you're back. Resolution F393, Cheney Purple Pipe Project Utility Easement.
Yeah, so during our construction project, we entertained, or we actually met with Jan Bliss on her property, and first we asked maybe if we could get an easement down what we consider the two ends of North 8th Street. Worked with her a little while, came back and she wasn't interested in that easement. What brought the easement in place is that when we had our DW excavation doing the purple pipe on the north side, and I'm referring to Exhibit B, on the north side, the corner was too tight into what we call Block 3 and Block 6, and that is the drainage swale for the Field of Dreams. It was just too tight from some of our utilities. And then also we did have a neighbor's tree that was pretty big that they really valued. So in addition, down below on the south, we did have an existing 10-foot easement, but with our pipe network and what we have down there, it just got really tight. So went back and talked with Mrs. Bliss, and she is willing to give us the 2 easements, both on the north and the south. Easement agreement is in the files, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. It does come with a $4,000 expense to that end, and graveling the driveway, but we think we get DW to help us out on that as they are tearing up the front. So I'll be happy to answer any questions on that.
Thanks, Todd. Any questions for Todd on this utility easement with Ms. Bliss? Go ahead.
Just a comment, Todd. This is really good work. It's good work. That's all I need to say.
Yes. You know what you're thinking. Any other questions? No?
So I would move for the passage of resolution F393.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second to approve resolution F393, the utility easement for the Purple Pipe project. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We have an abstention. 1 abstained. Thank you, Todd. Resolution F393 passes. Resolution F394, the Cheney EV purchase local agency agreement. Here we go.
Mayor, I would like to ask that Dan Ferguson maybe take the
Absolutely.
council resolutions. I'm going to put him on the spot.
Yeah,
And just kind of get him familiar with.
absolutely. Come on up,
Thank
Dan.
you.
What you do, Dan, is you walk up and you say, this is just housekeeping.
It's just housekeeping, so for good, well, good evening, everybody. Tonight, we have a local agency agreement with the Washington State Department of Transportation. This is for funding of up to 7 EV electric vehicles to replace some of the public works fleet that is aging out and no longer efficient vehicles. This 83.4% grant for a total of $342,173. And that's through the Surface Transportation Block Grant and the Carbon Reduction Program. We put all the paperwork through, and kind of every time we put it through, here comes more paperwork. I think we're at the final stage of paperwork. At this point, we're asking that this be passed so that the mayor can sign it forward.
Thanks, Dan. Any questions for Dan on this agreement? Yes, please.
So there'll be 7 charging stations, or will they rotate?
Yes, I'm sorry, with this, there's a solar charging canopy that we're going to build. We're going to use our forces to build it, but it'll be funded through this grant program. And it will put power back to the grid to offset the cost of the charging. The amount of hours we put on our vehicles, we will probably see a net gain in the solar production versus, so we're really looking at a carbon neutral fleet for the public works.
Thank you.
Good question. Yes, Paul.
Just a comment again. This came through the work with Todd, through Spokane Regional Transportation Council. I mean, it's been over 2 years.
Yeah.
I think in the making, and it was a quirk in the law on allotting money where of all the Spokane County, Cheney was the only one that really would qualify for this carbon reduction money. And so through Todd's work on the committee, that's what it was eligible were these vehicles. It was only 4 or 5.
Yeah, it's 4 Ford Lightning pickups,
Yeah.
1 Mach-E car, and 2 Polaris UTVs.
Yeah, so we've added to the fleet. So this is just a great success story that normally don't get, but it was through, and that's why we have representation on SRTC, which Vince does now. So you place at the table, and then Todd and his colleagues do all the hard grunt work in the committee. But this is really a good thing that we get things.
Yeah, this is a
Very
good
pleased.
opportunity. We'll take and look at our fleet and basically push the worst of the vehicles out the bottom, redistribute vehicles and get them where they go. So, yes, this is a good opportunity for us to be carbon neutral, which is a pretty big item these days.
So there wasn't, I thought we were gonna do like a bicycle, electric bicycle for the mayor's office or something.
Probably squeeze one of those out. Probably a
Bling, bling,
combination
bling.
pedal electric.
But I'd be happy to make a motion to approve resolution F-395.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second to approve resolution F-395, the EV purchase project. Oh, I'm sorry, EV purchase local agency agreement. Any final comments or questions?
Do they,
Yes.
the Polaris things have seatbelts?
They do.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
turn signals, horns.
We should
lights,
encourage staff to wear them.
That is very good. encouragement. Safe if you have them on.
Thank you.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you, Dan. Resolution F-394 passes. And kind of part of this is resolution F-395, the project prospectus. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, and this is just the other half of it, the project prospectus, that needs to be signed, sent in with the agreement, so.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second to approve resolution F-395, the EV purchase project prospectus. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Thank you, Dan. Resolution F-395 passes.
Great job on your first presentation, Dan.
Okay, Todd, resolution F-396, the Field of Dreams Homeowners Association property conveyance. Go for it.
Yeah, the Field of Dreams, basically, the Field of Dreams should have been Golden Hills Phase 3. That kind of fell apart and it went under a different developer. There was two pieces of property that maintained in the homeowners association. One was a pretty good sized swale. We refer it as behind the red barn, between the north and south side of North 8th Street. That was the original plat that should have drained, that still does today, not only drain the Field of Dreams, but also the Golden Hills 4th and the Golden Hills 6th. The association had some type of agreement, developer to developer agreement, that they would have enough HOA fees in both the 4th, 6th, and the Field of Dreams to pay for it. That deal never did merge. The responsibility was put on the Field of Dreams, and the swale is in need of cleaning out and repair. It also, when we took a look at it, it was probably the best route to get up to our purple pipe up north. So this has been in long discussions about obtaining the swale. They would like to dissolve the association, and they do have a small cul-de-sac called Marigold Circle. That cul-de-sac, although it was in private standard, it is a cul-de-sac that is 50 foot in diameter that meets the turning radius of the fire department. So it does even meet public standard stat. So recommending that we purchase those two properties. I believe the quick claim deed is just for in kind about $10 per parcel. And I'll be happy to answer any questions, or if it's more on the legal side, I'll kick it over to Mike.
Thanks, Todd. Any questions for Todd on this property conveyance?
I don't know, we discussed this at Public Works last time. I would make a motion that we approve F-396.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second to approve resolution F-396, the Field of Dreams HOA property conveyance. Any final question? Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Todd, great job on this too. Both the easement and this, both are really important, I think, for the city in that geographical area of our city. So just great job on procuring those properties. And I'm in favor.
Anybody else? I do have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you, Todd. Resolution F-396 passes. Resolution, excuse me, F-397. This is the fire department driveway apron project. Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, certainly. We went out and received 3 quotes for the concrete. William Winkler submitted the lowest bid of just a little over 79,000. It is going to be poured in two mobs, half and half, to that end. Currently, we're working on a water main leak, the water department, and we got some utilities to address down there. But compared to last year, this came down quite a bit. We're happy with those bids. I believe last year we were right around the budgeted amount, about 126,000 or so with tax and everything. So very pleased with it. We didn't change. The only thing we did do is we did pull out some of the ADA kind of methods. We'll still stick them in there, but I leave it to Lucky and all of his expertise. So he was able to kind of get a good price for us this year after reviewing last year's bid.
Thanks, Todd. Any questions for Todd? Much needed project for sure.
Your Honor, if there aren't any questions, I would make a motion to approve F397.
Second?
Thank you. I have a motion and a second to approve resolution F397, the fire department driveway apron project. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Thank you, Todd. Resolution F397 passes. Okay, resolution F398, Purple Pipe Project change order number 3. Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, the Cheney Port Pipe change order number 3 is basically, as you can see in the change order itself, on North 8th Street in Oakland, where we've installed the purple pipe already. We always had a plan to take that purple pipe up to Reservoir Zero. Reservoir Zero is our oldest reservoir. It's about a 230,000 gallon square tank reservoir. It's not as deep as our other reservoir, so it's really not functional to the point where if we draw down our reservoir and we dry up the first reservoir, then we have to go and chlorinate it. So it really hasn't been in operation for quite a few years now. But the discussion is, should we take that and use that as a reservoir for a purple pipe? And that's always been in the design. It was in the scope when we approached ecology. The reason why we didn't put it in this bid that we from DW Excavation is because Allison was coming in with about an $8 million distribution estimate, and we were a little leery to add anything to that, knowing that that was going to be pretty high. DW Excavation was the lowest bid at just right about 6 million. So we had a little savings of 2 million. Coming back tonight, we did get a proposal from DW Excavation, just over 500,000, 560,000 for the extension of that purple pipe from North 8th and the connection to Reservoir Zero. This will save basically it'll act as a reservoir instead of starting our pumps every time. So typically at night, we're pouring on the irrigation and that pump's running. During the day, anybody comes and fires up a system, it's going to start those motors down below, and those are high energy motors. So we think we can save some on demand charge. Plus, we do have a reservoir right now that would hold extra capacity for us. So with that and the ecology, if that gets approved and ecology knows it's in the scope, if the change order moves forward, we would ask permission that we would allow that within our ecology funding and move from there. So I'd be happy to answer any questions to that end, but I think why we have the funds available, I'm not too sure that we are going to have access to any other type of funds. So a little bit more expansion may help. And
Thanks, Todd. Questions for Todd on this change order? Excuse me.
Your Honor, I fully support the change order. I think it's a good idea, and we can fit it in the budget to have, like you said, so everything was on pump demand for our purple pipe. This gives us a little bit of leeway where, so that'll act as an overflow, the reservoir, or does it go directly? It goes direct?
It will pump into the system and pump into the reservoir itself. I believe that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it runs just like flies.
Okay, so it's just somewhat of an overflow then, very good. So then, what size pipe has to go up there? It's not the same size as the 18-inch that we're putting in all over the place, or?
That's 14.
14-inch, okay.
And the whole idea is that when we take a look at the first phase and future phases, that pipe was going up Oakland. It was going to tie to the reservoir. It was going to connect to Washington.
Yeah.
We were going to come down and see if EWU would be involved with that, and then eventually come back into Sutton Park to our existing purple pipes that we have down there to get that whole network.
No, I just think it makes good sense.
So
Thanks,
that's a
Paul.
motion.
I'll move to approve. Yeah, here. F398.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second to approve resolution F 398, the change order 3 to the Purple Pipe Project. Any other comments or questions?
Todd, just one quick question. This comes out of the funding for that, not out of our general budget, correct?
Yeah, we have funding from basically the Department of Commerce. And that was the end funding was 13 million on that. We have grant funding from the Bureau of Reclamation, a little over 5.4. And then we have an ecology funding, which is the loan, and that was funded for us at 21.8. We're not near that, but when we did the original project, all we had was the ecology loan back. I think that was back in 17, 18 when we did kind of the concept and started the design. But then we moved on to getting
Bureau of Reclamation.
basically appropriations through the COVID era. And we're able to obtain, if my math is right, pretty close to 18.5 million in grant.
Great. So it's not money we have to pay back on loan.
We do have on the loan side, and that is why we went through the exercise of the solid waste. I'm sorry, the wastewater, but we do have, we're expecting a loan payment, but 18.5 million of that projected about 28 million project wise, between 28 and 30 million on the project wise will be loaned, that difference. So we were estimating about 7-8 million. And that when all of the bids came in for that project, we went back to the table and we're probably looking at a loan right around 13 million.
Thanks, Todd.
Yep.
Good question. So I did have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay, and one abstention. Is that right? Okay. Thank you, Todd. Resolution F 398 passes. Resolution F 399, this is the Transportation Improvement Board grant application, Todd.
Certainly in this year, I would like to try to make up the difference. SRTC, I asked for 1.2 million in SRTC. They just didn't have the funding for Cheney, but they did offer us about 7.5 or 750,000. So with the TIB being a state fund and then SRTC being a federal, this one I'm going to ask to make up some of that difference. Same project, be the Sal Nave Preservation Project. We may try to extend that project a little further that we didn't have over that 1.2, but we'll put those numbers together and see if we can get the match, most of the match paid for.
Thanks, Todd. Any questions for Todd?
If there are no questions, Your Honor, I would move for approval of F 399.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second to approve resolution F 399, the TIB grant application. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you, Todd. Resolution F 399 passes. One more for you, right?
One more.
Okay, resolution F 400 in lieu of. Yeah. So this is the banner and bracket purchase acceptance of bid. Steve did a lot of the groundwork. But
He
he's on
did all of it,
vacation.
and then before he was nervously off to a wedding, I kind of got the whole report and all of his legwork on taking a look at that's how he came up with the results. So
It'll be bigger, way bigger.
Let's just see, what did you do? You get a shorty or is this?
yeah, well, I think hopefully that's just a demonstration
Yeah.
to
And
that
that's-
end.
And that's not the size that we're getting. It's just, I think what we want to do is show the material.
Yeah. So I believe we received 17 of it, but that's on the bid tabulation. You see 17 quotes.
Made in China.
17 quotes. The bid proposal basically wasn't the low bid. We wanted to take a look at the most advantageous, not knowing the material, not knowing the print. So we kind of wrote the proposal to be most advantageous. And when Steve took a look at all the submittals, this one came out being the best. And when you take a look at their bid package and their unit, They were the only ones that would warranty the banners 5 years on the print and 10 years on the fabric, and then also 7 years on the brackets. The majority of the other ones were 1 years, and there was a few 3 years on that. This came in at 28, a little over 28,000 plus some tax. It wasn't the highest, but it wasn't the lowest. But Steve felt that is a pretty good 5 years and 10 years. And depending on if we keep them up all year round, or if we take them up and down, it would probably last a lot longer. And they were the only ones that submitted their material types and their print. So.
And if, just as a refresher, so these are banners that will go on bets all the way up through Washington, way down to 904.
Leave it.
Two-sided. One says Go Eagles on one side, the other one has the Eastern logo and the City of Cheney logo. So,
and these are 140 banners.
140 banners, yeah. And our goal, if approved, is try to get these up before the first Eastern football.
So that was the other thing why I think I'm here tonight, is that the delivery is 21 calendar days from the notice. So I think if we look at the calendar, I think that will get us right in that.
Cool. Thanks, Todd. Any questions for Todd?
Your Honor, we did discuss this also at Public Works, and the durability and longevity was important. And we knew we would likely not, or staff would likely not recommend low bid on this. And again, I think we all supported going after banners that are gonna last a long time. So with that, I would make a motion to approve F400.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second to approve resolution F400 banner and bracket purchase acceptance of. Any final comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you, Todd. Resolution F400 passes. Resolution F401, we're bringing back, hopefully in final form, the payroll frequency change. Mike and I negotiated the impact of this change with each of the unions, and they've all agreed to the options that we've presented here. And again, we're going to start this January 6th, but if approved, then we're going to probably push a campaign of information, frequently asked questions, make sure everybody is 100% aware of their options going forward when the payroll change stops or starts. And additionally, if approved, then Mike and I will go back to each of the unions and negotiate an MOU specifically for that union, because everybody's paid a little differently. But we wanted to make sure that we have a memorandum of understanding on each of the collective bargaining agreements. So, and I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add there.
Just to clarify, so the fact that the city is changing the payroll frequency and the reasons for that, Cindy would do a much better job than me of explaining why we need to do that. I think you're all very well aware of that. It's the impact though that is mandatory under PERC case law. We have to negotiate with the unions. And when the mayor and I met with the unions, they were all open to having a conversation collectively as a group. And that's what we did. And so one of the biggest concerns that was raised is that there's a lot of different individual circumstances and we needed to have more options available for the city's employees. And so that's what this does. It provides a lot more options. Folks can, they can still, if they choose, just go the 2 weeks, essentially with delayed payment. They can take out a loan. If they 0% interest from the city, we doubled the time that they have to repay that from 12 months to 24 months. And in addition, we also had the option of folks cashing out accruals. The prior resolution allowed employees to cash out vacation. This expands that to any kind of accrual that an employee has banked. It could be sick leave, comp time, professional leave, all of the things they have available to them, they can cash out to make up this additional payment or loan. Another thing we've added in to provide additional flexibility, particularly for people who are newer employees and maybe don't have a big leave bank, is we're allowing them to cash out leave as it's earned. And so if somebody doesn't have a lot of leave saved up right now, on a regular basis, they could cash it out over 24 months as that is earned. So we listened, we met with all of the unions. We still have to negotiate MOUs with all of them. But those are the terms that we're asking for some authority from the council to sign up on these MOUs for. So
Thanks, Mike. I
we're being
appreciate
very
it.
flexible.
Yes. And are there any questions for myself or Mike? Yes, go ahead.
Your Honor. So with cashing out the accruals, how common of a practice is that to ask employees to cash in their their sick leave or their vacation to do this rather than just offering the short-term loan?
So I know Spokane County did this, is my understanding. And that's where we got some of these ideas. And actually, it was the unions that brought those ideas to us because they had experience dealing with the county. So I don't know that we've surveyed, I don't think we've surveyed, statewide or
No.
nationwide or anything. We just tried to, again, we had an obligation, the city had an obligation to negotiate these impacts. And that's what we've done in the last couple of months. And these were the options that the unions said would help them to bridge this gap, because it's going to be a hardship on people. It will be. And so we're just doing the best we can. They offered a lot of, they put out a lot of ideas, and I think almost universally the mayor said, let's do this. Let's make this easy on folks.
So that was a decision or a recommendation from the unions to do that?
Yeah.
It's not common practice from what I've seen.
Well, I don't know. All I can say is I've got a copy of what Spokane County did, and they allowed that. So we tried to be as flexible as we could be. Yeah, without putting the city in a position where we would be giving essentially a bonus to folks, paying for 2 weeks of, that wasn't worked essentially. So again, this is going to delay, it's going to delay payroll for folks. They will get paid for all the time that they worked. When they separate from employment, they will get paid, 2 weeks later. We got to bridge that gap though, for people who are just trying to cover monthly expenses.
And can I ask one more question? What would the cost to the city be if we had just eaten that cost of the 2 weeks? As opposed to making them count out sick pay?
Salaries on that, they probably got $500,000.
Okay.
$350 and $5 depending on who decided to take that. You gave everybody 2 weeks salary, probably looking at about $500,000.
That falls into gifting of public funds though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a way to structure it. You could do it as a bonus or a retention bonus, and there's ways to do that, but it's sort of an unfunded thing or an unbudgeted item. So, yeah. But that's the price tag attached to it.
Yeah, good questions.
I just had a question.
Go ahead.
Not to sound like a broken record, but I just want to make sure this payroll frequency change will not affect the 7K exemption for police and fire and affect our overtime.
This will give us authority to make the payroll change. Then as written, what Mike and I will do, we'll negotiate the MOU with each of the unions because there are differences in each of the unions.
Okay. And that will be covered in the 7. I just want to make sure we don't lose it since we're already so far over an overtime payment. I don't want us to, be on the hook for more.
I don't think, I think the public safety is all, everybody that we sat down with collectively was all for this. So, and with the understanding that we are going to sit down and do an MOU on every one of the collective bargaining agreements, specifically
Okay.
how the process.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, and the 7K exemption is something they can certainly do. It's one of those things, we have to negotiate that with them if they want to start using that method of tracking their hours and things like that.
Okay.
Because there are differences between the unions rather than have that all in.
Yeah,
We
I
would
understand.
negotiate that individually.
Yeah.
Mayor,
It's certainly not off the table, and it sounds like there's a lot of interest in doing that. And so I think that's probably where our focus will need to be on those when those contracts come up for renewal, or if they want to open them up sooner,
Okay,
that could happen too.
okay.
Mark, did you have something?
Yeah, just a quick, I wasn't able to hear Cindy's comment. Could you just repeat how much the total amount was that was an answer to Jackie's question?
Sure, I estimated. I don't
Yeah.
have that at the top of my head, but I'm guessing it's between about 350 to 500,000, probably closer to 500,000 by the time you paid everybody in the city for 2 weeks.
Okay, thanks,
Think
Cindy.
about the labor distribution that you approve is like 1.3 or so. I mean, it's pretty big. So, but you start taking that out because that also has benefits and stuff in it. So by removing some of that stuff, I'm guessing that's about what that is. I can get a clearer answer for that tomorrow. I just don't have that right now.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. It would be half of what we generally sign for 1 month. Yeah. Thanks, Cindy.
Any other questions? If there's no other questions, I'd accept the motion to approve resolution F401.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second to approve resolution 401, the payroll frequency change resolution. Any final comments or questions? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay.
Nay.
One nay. Okay, so ayes have it. Thank you. Resolution F401 passes. Ordinances, Todd, back up to the table here.
As you recall.
Ordinance Y80.
Ordinance, this ordinance for the garage kind of design was postponed or delayed to this one. I did get a better understanding from some council members about, we looked at it as a new development lot, but we weren't really looking at as infill. And as we get into infill, we do have some narrow lots and it will be a challenge to put any type of garage in there. So I didn't do much tweaking to the language. I just dropped a last sentence out, but kind of in there, we're still sticking with the 50 and 65%. However, we are giving a little bit of bonus on those 60 to 55% if they would just make their garage look like the front of their house, to that end. So we have some gable ends, criterias and everything else instead of just basically a hip roof or just building the garage right on the facade and where you see garage doors. So we do want basically some architectural features. So I think this language right here lends to even infill type properties. So with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Todd. Any questions for Todd?
Are you in a hurry on this?
I did tweak the language, but I have not heard any comments from the original one, so I'll leave that up to you. We do have Hayden Homes that we worked with on this particular language. They're ready to go with some plan reviews and get going. So.
Yeah.
Go on.
Counter, real quick. Yeah, I appreciate you adjusting the language. I think it makes it more flexible, and I would be okay with all 3 readings.
And I think we've already had 1 reading, right? So
Yeah.
this will be the second,
Yeah,
third,
second,
if you
third.
so choose.
Well, if there are no more questions, Your Honor, I would move for the second and third reading of ordinance Y89 in title and summary form only and placed before us for final passage.
Second.
Thank you. I have a motion and a second for the second and third reading of ordinance Y9, amending title 21.20.050 development standards in title and summary form only, and that it be placed before you all for final passage. Any final questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Thank you. Shelley.
An ordinance amending Title 21 entitled Zoning of the Cheney Municipal Code and providing for other matters related thereto.
Thank you, Shelley. Councilmember Overhauser.
Aye.
Councilmember Schmidt.
Aye.
Councilmember Bartels.
Aye.
Councilmember Beeler.
Aye.
Councilmember Nazaro. Aye. Councilmember Labar.
Aye.
And Councilmember Postuma.
Aye.
Wonderful. Ordinance Y89 passes. Thanks, Todd. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes our action items. I don't think we have any staff reports. I do want to mention in my report that I enjoyed witnessing the graduation, the therapeutic court graduation last Friday with 3 young folks get through the whole process, and I'm glad I stayed. It was a wonderful experience and good for them. And I'm excited for their future for sure. Council reports. Teresa.
Nothing, thank you.
Okay. Paul.
Based on the earlier public comment, with the success of pool and everything, I have as well heard some issues regarding our fees and one possibly for our budget session for 2026 that we could kind of take a look at brushing that up somewhat, seeing what other ways we can do. I too agree that I don't care what Spokane does with their fees. Let's scope it for our community. And I think, I don't know if it'll change or not, but at least give us, put some more time and effort. Sure. And that's all, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thanks, Paul. Vince.
I agree with that also, and that's weather reports. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jackie.
Got nothing else to report other than, yeah, support for it. Paul said, as a mom of a big family,
Yeah.
it's kind of cost prohibitive for a lot of people at the moment.
Thanks, Jackie. Jason. Danielle.
Just have to agree with Paul. So that's it.
And Mark.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I've been out of town for about a month, so got to ride my bike up and get caught in a rainstorm and look at the pool. That was wonderful. So I just wanted to say congratulations to Todd and Dan and your whole team. You guys did such a great job, and it looks really great. And I agree with Paul. Let's work on how we're putting fees together. I think that would be really helpful for our citizens. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Mark. So that does conclude our agenda, except for an executive session. So we're going to go into an executive session per RCW 42.30.110G to discuss matters of personnel. And I have 5 minutes because it's just real quick. So 5 minutes. So if everybody please could exit stage right.
Back at,
We'll be
7:04.
7:04. No action after. No action. No.
Everybody that is on Zoom will be moved to a waiting room and we'll bring you back if you
Oh,
are
no, back.
still there.
Oh, yeah. So just Mike. Council and so.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's her. Mark on there.
Yeah, I put him in the waiting room,
Oh,
so I just brought him back.
he's back.
Move to adjourn.
Second. Thank you. Motion second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Anybody want to stick around? Any opposed? Thank you all. I appreciate the efficiency of this meeting because we had a lot to cover today.
What?
Great. Yeah, me too.
Sorry,
You're
I'll let
right.
you get
I'm
past
sorry.
first.
Hey, where you guys, anybody going to